And then we should be away. That's recording. Okay. All right. Well, welcome again, everyone, to tonight's essential oil class. My name is Rebecca, and hopefully you've had some kind of experience with doTERRA's essential oils. But the purpose of tonight's class is to give you an introduction into how you can actually use essential oils as a very powerful form of plant natural medicine. So just a little bit about me. My name is Rebecca. I came into essential oils about 4.5 years ago, and it was actually through my mum. So my mum was 74 at the time. She was a fitness instructor, could do 60 push-ups a day. So very fit and healthy. I can only do one, just about. So she's a very healthy older lady. And she was on statins and beta blockers quite suddenly because of high blood pressure and heart complications. And we saw my mum's health pretty much plummet within the space of about 2-3 weeks. She really went downhill in terms of her energy. She could hardly walk up the stairs, certainly no more push-ups. And also she started feeling quite depressed as well. And these were all side effects of the medication that she was on. So understandably, she didn't want to be on these medications, but didn't know what else to do. Luckily, about this kind of time, a few weeks later, she met a lady who was using doTERRA's essential oils to help manage her health conditions. And they were pretty serious health conditions as well. So she suggested to Mum that they look up in the book, and I'll talk about these books in a second, but they just looked up the ailments in the book, on these books, and they were told to use rosemary, geranium, and frankincense. So my mum started using these 3 oils daily, twice a day actually. And within a few weeks, she started feeling the effects and the benefits, and she started feeling different. And that gave her some confidence. And so she personally decided herself to gradually start coming off her medications until about 6 weeks later, she was completely free of her statins and beta blockers and just using essential oils to manage her health. Now, I was a science teacher for a while. I did biology at university. I studied nutrition at the College of Naturopathic Medicine. I didn't get to finish my course because I had 3 little ones, and I'm still deferring that, but I'm going to go back and finish my nutritional course. But for me, I was quite astounded at what Mum had experienced, and so I started researching about essential oils as natural healing. And I was quite amazed to find so many research papers, on PubMed, so many people using them that were talking about their testimonials of how oils had helped them with so many different health conditions, that I became more intrigued. And a year later, I found someone in the UK who was doing a class on doTERRA's essential oils. So much like this one, I went along, it was a live class I went to. And oh my goodness, I was just continually just blown away in this class about all the things I was hearing the essential oils could do. So I decided to purchase some oils, and I started using them on myself, my husband, who was pretty reluctant at first, I have to say, but my 3 little girls were my guinea pigs, and I was just amazed. They were working, on various things, from minor injuries, to more severe things that my children were suffering from, like cystitis, severe rashes. And then I started giving them to friends for things like asthma and, quite serious things. And again, I saw incredible results. So that's where my kind of journey, if you like, started with essential oils, and doTERRA's essential oils in particular. And I'll talk about what makes them different. But now I'm extremely passionate about these oils. I've been using them for 3.5 years. And we haven't had to use any medications at all in that time. And we've had to address quite a few things. Now, I do want to say here that I am not against medication, okay? There's a place for doctors. My cousin's a wonderful doctor, and she uses the essential oils alongside medication. And that's the key here, that we have a tool in essential oils that can really be used to help us take more control of our health and not just rely on drugs the whole time. So they're very powerful alternative to medication. Okay, so tonight's class, I'm literally going to do an introduction. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what an essential oil is and how they can actually help our bodies to heal themselves. I'm also going to address the difference between doTERRA's essential oils and other oils, because I know there's lots of oils out there. And then I'm going to be going through 10 core oils that is kind of doTERRA's answer to your natural medicine cabinet. So it's a good place to start, because doTERRA do over 70 oils now and would be here for a very long time if I went through all of them. So the 10 core oils is what I'm going to focus on tonight. Okay, so first of all then, what is an essential oil? So an essential oil, I was quite interested to find out, I think that's the right word, that it's the actual immune system of the plant. So like we have an immune system that helps to protect us. Plants have a very powerful immune system, and obviously needs to be a lot stronger because they're out in the wild and they're a lot purer than us. So their immune system is very powerful. And most of their immune system literally is found in the essential oil. So it's the concentrated part of the plant where all its healing properties are found. Now, depending on the plant, depends on where you'll get the essential oil from. So sometimes you might get it from the root of a plant, other times from the leaf and petals, you know, from different parts of the plants. But the key is that it's the immune system of the plant. Now, essential oils are actually nature's strongest natural plant medicine. So my mother-in-law is a herbalist. She's been using herbs for over 20 years, but now she uses essential oils because they're actually 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs. So these are very, very powerful and very effective. So basically, there are three quite amazing things really about doTERRA's essential oils that I'm going to address. First of all, they are 100% natural. They're also more effective often than medications, and they're also very cost effective as well. Because of their potency, you don't need to use very much of them, so they last a very long time. So first of all, to address why they're 100% natural. So doTERRA, when they were born, if you like, which was over about 11 years ago now, there wasn't any regulations at all, and there still are no regulations when it comes to essential oils. So anybody can put 100% pure essential oil on their bottle, and actually they only have to have a small percentage of the actual oil. So we as consumers do not know what we're getting. And often, unfortunately, we're getting a bottle that has been heavily diluted, either by carrier oils or cheaper versions of other essential oils. And at worst, they're going to have lots of chemicals in them as well. So they're actually going to be quite harmful to us. But certainly, if we're not getting a 100% pure essential oil, we're not going to be getting those healing benefits that we're supposed to get from essential oils. So doTERRA's mission was to produce 100% pure essential oils. So with nothing else in them apart from the pure essential oil. Now they do this in two ways. First of all, they source every single one of their oils from their natural habitat. So you can see here this beautiful picture of essential oil sourced from across the world. Unfortunately, we don't have any from the UK as to date, but maybe if nettle essential oil becomes doTERRA's oils, I'm thinking England have got a good chance of getting that one. But for example, we get our lavender from the Alps of France. We get our frankincense from Somalia and Oman. This is, these are all from all across the world, and it's where the immune system is going to be the strongest, isn't it, when they're grown in their natural habitats. And even actually down to the time of day that these oils are harvested makes a big difference to the potency of that oil, and that's all carefully monitored by doTERRA. So on every single one of doTERRA's bottles, don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but it's got a little, very, very little symbol there that says CPTG, just in that corner there. So I don't know if you're able to see that. But basically what that means, it's doTERRA's own standardization. Because there are no standards globally, doTERRA have put their own standard on their bottles and then are telling us what that stands for. So every single one of their bottles will have this logo, CPTG, which means Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. And basically what that stands for is that every single oil with that logo on means it's been sourced from its natural habitat. And also every single drop that then gets harvested is thoroughly tested by doTERRA's in-house scientists, first of all, and then their tests are done third party, and then once again in-house, to absolutely guarantee these oils are completely free of contaminants. So they are 100% natural, they are beyond organic, because they have no chemicals or nothing else in them that they shouldn't have. And because of that, they are very safe and very effective. In fact, they're so safe that you can use them on tiny babies, newborn babies, all the way throughout up to the elderly, and you can use them through pregnancy. And it's actually quite lovely. My children now, who are 8, 6 and 4, they've got to know the oils, and they can often go and self-medicate as well. If they've got a sore tummy, they'll go and get an essential oil and put it on their tummy, or go and smell an oil if they want to feel happy. So it's really lovely. They are really very safe. Now I just want to mention this just briefly. So something else that doTERRA do that I think is definitely worth mentioning, and something that I strongly believe in as well, is co-impact sourcing. So yes, they look after the environment and make sure everything is sustainable when they're harvesting their oils, but they also look after the people that are sourcing the oils for them and producing these wonderful oils. And they, as far as possible, will source their oils from areas of the world which are struggling economically. And what they do is they work in direct partnership with these farmers. They give them a fair salary, and these farmers are able to depend on this salary, you know, whether or not they get yield that year. So if they have a washout year, doTERRA will still pay them a very fair rate, because there are no middlemen, so they can pay them a very good rate. And they also help to build infrastructure there. That's why you see a picture here of the school and water supplies going in. They're really able to give to the communities. And that's, I think, quite incredible. And what that actually does as well is not only helping people, but it's creating loyalty between doTERRA and their growers. So over 80% now of doTERRA's essential oils are exclusive to doTERRA. And that's wonderful. Okay, so I've explained a little bit about why they're so pure. So now I'm going to talk about the uses of doTERRA. So what are the 3 ways that you can actually use doTERRA's essential oils? And the reason why you can use them in these 3 ways is because they are, as we said, 100% pure. So that's quite significant. So the first way is quite easy, and hopefully you've all had a smell of doTERRA's essential oils one way or another. Either you've got a little sample, or we saw you at a fair and you were able to have the wild orange and peppermint experience, which is one of my favourite things to do and to give others the opportunity to try. But yeah, just putting a drop of essential oil into your hand. Putting a drop, I'll do it now actually. I can always do with an essential oil fix. So just putting 1 drop of oil straight into your hand like that. Just put it into my hand and then rub your hands together. I like to do this with a citrus oil and a peppermint oil, because they're very energizing together, very uplifting as well. And peppermint just opens your airways like nothing else and helps to release any tension or brain fog. So you rub your hands together to create a bit of friction. And then I like to rub the peppermint into the back of my neck like so, and shoulders. And it helps to really release the tension, helps to relax muscles. Peppermint is also really good at cooling you down as well. So it's really good just to kind of, if you're feeling a bit hot, but also great for fevers and temperatures, you know, or if you're going through the menopause as well, it's a very popular oil. But then if you just cup your hands like so, close your eyes, because they're very, very potent, and just take about 6 or 7 deep breaths like so. And when you do that, that is getting the essential oils very quickly into your brain through your olfactory nerve, into the brain, and actually causing a chemical change in your brain, which is actually going to result in you having a lift in mood, a change in mood. So it actually is scientifically shown to chemically affect what's going on in your brain. And that's the best way of really affecting your mood, is to breathe in the essential oils. to take them aromatically. It's a very safe way as well. You can do that 24/7, you know, if you wanted to. But another way of taking them aromatically is in a diffuser. Now, this diffuser I've got here is one of doTERRA's petal diffusers, and it's not heating the oil up. So it's not an oil burner. Because these oils are, you know, therapeutic, you don't want to destroy their chemistry. And if you heat these oils, you will affect their healing properties. So this is just cold water put into a diffuser with a couple of drops of oil, and then that diffuses around about a 30 meters squared area. So you can really reach quite a few people in the home with that. So it's great if, like, husbands, wives, grumpy, or your children, and you can just put a few drops in and lift everybody together, which is a really nice way of doing it. It's also lovely at night time. You know, if you want to put something that's going to open up your airways, especially for anyone that snores or has breathing problems, or if you've got a cold, it would just help to clear you while you're sleeping at night time. So that's the main reasons why I use the diffuser. Another reason, and I'll come to a blend that doTERRA do in a little bit, but there's a lovely blend that is the antiviral blend, and so it will kill viruses in the air. So if you're diffusing an oil in the diffuser, it will actually kill viruses that are airborne surrounding you, so you can kind of help prevent you getting sick in the first place. So that's aromatically then, very safe. You can put it in children's rooms. This diffuser has a timer, so it will go for 1, 2 or 4 hours, and you can turn the light on or off, and it just switches itself off. So again, very safe to use, and I often just put it in my children's bedroom at night time. Okay, the second way of using essential oils is topically. Now, this is really quite straightforward. Basically, you put the essential oil where you need it, so where you're feeling the pain or discomfort. Now, when you first start using doTERRA's essential oils, I highly recommend that you start by putting them on the bottom of your feet first of all, and just on the arch at the bottom. And you only ever need 1 to 2 drops maximum at a time when putting the oils on topically, because they're very powerful. So you just put them on the bottom of your feet. Now, this is a really good way of getting the oils around your whole body. So it's very good for systemic conditions, because the feet is where you have your largest pores. So literally within 30 seconds, that oil is going to be absorbed into your body. And within 20 minutes, that oil has gone into every single cell in your body and done what it needs to do. Okay, and then it leaves your body within about 2 hours. So the essential oils, they don't build up in your system, they don't overload your liver, they literally come into your body, do what they need to do, and then they go. But the feet is a very safe place to start, because that's where your skin is not as sensitive, and so it's good to test your skin sensitivity with these oils on the bottom of your feet first of all. And then, you know, as long as you don't have, if you have a slight red mark, that's kind of the worst that will happen, then you just know you definitely have to use a carrier oil with that essential oil. Excuse me. So generally speaking, then I say to work your way up your body. So then if you have a stomach ache, for example, then you'd want to put that essential oil directly onto your stomach. But I would put some carrier oil on first. Now, the one I recommend is doTERRA's coconut oil, which is actually fractionated, which means the fat's been taken out, so it's liquid at room temperature. And you can just put some on your hand like this, rub it into your stomach, or rub it into your back if you've got back pain, or your neck, or if you've got a bit of a headache, you can put some carrier oil here first of all, and then just get your chosen essential oil and put 1 to 2 drops on top and just rub it in. So that's the best way to administer the oils topically. And like I said, really you can apply them every 2 hours as needed, because the essential oils go into your body, do what they need to do, and then they're out of your body within 2 hours. So for some conditions, you might find you need to apply every 2 hours. Occasionally, like this lady in the picture is rubbing a blend called Deep Blue. This blend is a lovely blend. This one I've got right here. I'll speak about it in more detail in a second, but it's very good for pain. Now, if people have pain, especially acute pain, so for example, I suffer from back pain, lower back pain, and when it comes, it's quite strong, and so I put this on, just a pea-size amount of this, onto my lower back about every 20 minutes. So occasionally you might have to use them every 20 minutes, just for a short period of time. So when you start using the essential oils, it's all about just kind of going for it really, and just like with anything, you just learn how they respond to you, because everyone's got slightly different body chemistries, and so you just start using the oils and you kind of just see how you feel. And if you think you need a top up after 20 minutes, then do a top up after 20 minutes. But generally speaking, you only need to do it every 2 hours, and often just one application is enough, you know, especially for things like a headache or stomach upset. Then just one application will sort it out. So you don't need to keep applying. Only apply as and when you feel. Okay, so that's topical. Internal is the third way you can take doTERRA's essential oils. It's a very exciting way and very unique to doTERRA's essential oils. So please don't go and take other essential oils internally. And in fact, you'll find on the other bottles that it will always say, do not take internally. So please do not. But with doTERRA's, because they are 100% pure, you can take them internally. And this will help with certain conditions more effectively than just putting it on topically or breathing it in. And things like stomach bugs, where you really want to get into your stomach. Anything to do with the gut, you know, you want to get into that area. And I also find, you know, if I've got a viral infection, then internal is best for me as well. Especially because I usually have swollen glands here. So if I just take a drop of essential oil in some water and gargle it, then that's the best way for me to get the best effects out of that. Now, just to give you an example, because there are some essential oils that are quite pleasant to take, whereas others you take definitely as a medicine. So lemon essential oil, where did I put my lemon? Oh, here it is. That's my lemon. I'll put orange in instead. Okay, so you just put, in a glass like this, I'd put 1 drop of, say, lemon essential oil. You could put more, you could put 2 drops in if you'd like to. But they'll, you know, like I said, they're quite powerful, and 1 drop's really all you need. And we'll come on to lemon, but it's very good for detoxifying the body. So it's a good way to start the day. You can just drink that just straight out the glass, so just putting 1 drop of oil in a big glass. Now, if I was to take an oil internally for medicinal reasons more, so if I'm trying to fight a virus, there's a lovely blend called On Guard that I should also come to. This is the antiviral blend. And you just put 1 drop in about my lovely wine glass here, a little shot glass amount. So, you know, just a tiny amount here. You just want to put 1 drop into there like so, and then just kind of drink it quickly. It's not, you know, it's not one you just sip and enjoy the taste. It's not a bad taste, but it's not, you know, one to enjoy. So you just kind of down it. So that's how you take them internally. Now you can also put them in salad dressings or soups. But like I said, you know, try not to put them in really hot things. It's best to let things cool down, and then you can add the essential oil at the end of your cooking, so you can maximize the therapeutic benefits. Okay, so they're the 3 ways you can take the essential oils. Now the essential oil safety, they are very safe, as I said, without side effects, but there are a few things. So just watch out for skin sensitivity, as I said. So start using them with a carrier oil. Also, please try and avoid getting them in your eyes, up your nose, down your ear. You can put them around your ear here for like an ear infection. That's fine. Or even on a cotton bud, you know, put some oils on the cotton bud and put them into your ear. I did that with Sienna when she had an earache. But you don't want to pour them down your ear, obviously. So if you do happen to get them in your eye, you know, that is actually quite common. Don't panic. You're not going to go blind or anything. But please don't use water to rinse it out, because water will actually make it a bit worse, because water and oils don't mix very well. So you just want to grab an oil, and it could be any oil at this point, And just if you have a cotton pad or something, some tissue, you can put the oil onto and just wipe your eye. If you don't have anything, don't worry, it will just sting for a couple of minutes and then it'll go down. So that's the main safety. One last safety, we don't have to worry too much in the UK, unfortunately, but in the bright sunshine, if you're going out sunbathing, then you do need to be careful when applying citrus oils to any areas that are exposed to the sun, because it will increase your sensitivity to the sun, so your skin will burn more if you go out in the sunshine, in direct sunshine, within 12 hours of putting the citrus oils on. So they're the main safety. Okay, now, yeah, just want to touch on something else just before we go into all the 10 core essential oils that I spoke about that we were going to do. Something that I really like about doTERRA, and what I certainly like to emphasize, is that I'm not saying that all your troubles are going to go away with just one drop of an essential oil. Obviously, it's a whole wellness pyramid, isn't it? And we need to try and eat right, we need to exercise, we need to try and manage our stress. All of these things greatly affect our body's ability to fight disease. Now, doTERRA comes into the top part, which is the informed self-care. So this is where it's exciting, because obviously the more knowledge we have, the more we're empowered to take more control of our own health. And that's where I'm very passionate about and why I like to share this with everybody. So on that note, I just wanted to mention a supplement that doTERRA do, and it comes in a box much like this, or exactly like this, and it contains these 3 bottles. Now, when I first came into doTERRA, I was really excited about the oils. My youngest was a year old at that time, and my energy was really depleted, and in fact so much that I was on borderline chronic fatigue, and also I had severe anxiety that I hadn't ever experienced before in my life. But since having Izzy, I'd been really anxious to the point where I could hardly leave the home, which was not like me at all. Anyways, so I heard about these supplements through doTERRA, and I'd heard good things about them. And I'd heard that they were completely pure, again, free of any contaminants. And I'd heard people who had had depression had gone on them with great results, and energy. Certainly, that had helped everybody who had taken them. So I kind of took them more for energy than anything else. And so I started taking these every day. And after about 2 weeks, I still remember the feeling. I woke up and I felt completely different. So normally I woke up every day feeling tight, anxious, really, really stressed for no reason. And this day I just woke up and I felt chilled, mellow. It felt amazing. And it didn't ever come back. So I was a bit kind of curious at first whether it was due to the supplements, but it didn't come back. And actually when I did come off my supplements, because I like to do scientific tests on myself, I came off about 7 months later, and my husband actually begged me to go back on them after about a week. Because my anxiety started coming back. But also what happened after about 6 weeks of taking them is my energy levels started to really increase. You know, and I was severely tired, and my eyes were stinging all day long, and I could collapse at any moment, and I was just falling asleep at 8 at the latest every single night. But when I started taking these after 6 weeks, my energy started increasing, until after about 3 months, it peaked at what's kind of it's at now, which feels very normal. So I felt like a normal person again. So these really had a dramatic effect on my life. So I can't recommend them enough. Supplements, if you get a good one, are priceless. You know, it's hard to find a good supplement because often we can't absorb the supplements that we're buying and purchasing, and they're not in the right ratios, or they've got contaminations and other things in them that shouldn't be in them. So I'm just going to quickly go through these, but the first bottle contains all your vitamins and minerals, so all the things that your body needs, all in one bottle. And capsules, they're on capsules. What's so quite unique about doTERRA is that they're a whole food supplement. So it's a patented process, but they're actually grown on the glycoprotein matrix, which makes these nutrients a whole food form, as I said, so our body can very quickly and easily absorb them, which is really essential. The second bottle contains the omega-3s and the omega-6s. I think we've all probably heard about these. They're very important to our diet, very important for inflammation and to help our body to fight disease, and also for brain functioning. And these are in their correct ratios, and they're not rancid either, because often fish oils can be very rancid. And also, the unique thing about this bottle here, this capsule, is that they also contain essential oils in them. So every single day, you're not only taking the vitamins and minerals and your omega-3s and 6s, but you're also taking very powerful essential oils, again, completely pure essential oils, that are also aiding in your own immune system, helping to boost your immune system. And clove is one of nature's strongest, highest antioxidants, and frankincense, we'll come on to a bit later, is an incredible oil to be taking every day. And the third bottle, which really helped my energy, is this one, which contains many herbs that help with your energy levels in your body. So it helps boost your mitochondrial levels, which decrease over time. Unfortunately, as we get older, we're not so good at producing energy in our body. So these herbs help to stimulate that. I'm just going to flick through. These are people that I know. I think it's quite powerful to just mention their experiences. So arthritis. So these supplements, I do recommend obviously for everybody, because I think we all get used to being a bit lethargic or joint pain or a bit low in mood. And these are things that I think have become the new norm for most of us. So they are great for everybody, but certainly people with more chronic conditions such as arthritis. She would manage to come off her painkillers. This is quite an astounding one. So Tonya suffered from extreme fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue. When I met her, she was on a scooter and she took the Lifelong Vitality Pack, as long as with the oils as well. And she's a new person. She walks. It's quite incredible. And this is one of my very, very dearest friends, Lindsay, who after giving birth to her second child, well, during her second pregnancy, she's now got 3 children. She had a severe condition where her pubic bone ligaments were torn, and she ended up in a wheelchair after giving birth to her second child and stayed in a wheelchair pretty much for that year, and then started taking the Lifelong Vitality supplements, again alongside with some essential oils that were recommended to her. And within a couple of weeks, she was starting to feel better. And so much so that after about 8 months, 9 months, she was able to have another baby that she really wanted, and everything's been fine. So, and then this one, I'm not going to make any claims at all when it comes to cancer. I will be mentioning frankincense later for those of you that are interested in this topic. But Jenny, alongside a very healthy diet, she ate very healthy food, but she swears that Lifelong Vitality Pack really helped her fight her cancer. So that's the supplements. Now I want to move on to the oils. Now, before I just briefly kind of cover the 10 core oils I want to introduce to you all tonight, I just want to say that please don't feel like you have to remember everything from this introductory class. I know, like with everything, you all probably come from different backgrounds of essential oils, but certainly if you're brand new to them, it might feel like a lot of information. But like I said at the beginning, I will be sending you this recording so you can re-watch it as many times as you want. But also, what's wonderful is the brilliant resources that another company who work alongside doTERRA have produced for us. There's books. There's 2 wonderful books that I recommend. The Essential Life book, the one I just held up, is great. It's got lots of pictures, lots of recipes, and how to use the oils. The second book, the Modern Essentials book, is more scientific. It's still got lovely pictures and some recipe ideas. But in both books, you can literally look up the essential oil and find out what the healing properties are. Or you can look up any ailments, mostly speaking, they're all in there. And it will tell you which essential oils to use. So I will send you an email after this class with where you can get these books from. You can also get an app on your phone for just £6, I think the app is. And it's called the Modern Essentials app. And that's a wonderful tool as well. But really, it's just a matter of starting to use them, just taking the plunge, starting to use them. You'll soon get to know them that way. But there are tools to help you get started, basically. So yeah, don't be scared to start using them. Okay, so I am going to be covering, so I'll go back to this page just real quickly. So this natural medicine cabinet kit is called the Home Essentials Kit, and it contains these 10 oils here and a diffuser as well, which I'm just going to briefly go through. And the reason why we do these 10 core oils is because, as you'll start to see in this class tonight, that with these 10 core oils, you can pretty much cover most physical ailments, either used separately or in conjunction with each other, and emotional ailments as well, that the majority of us suffer from. So it's a really good kind of place to start, to get used to these, and then you can build up and get more oils if you so desire. So the first one is lavender, a beautiful, beautiful oil. And this is one that a lot of people have used, so it's very calming. Very calming, emotionally, but also physically as well. So if you just think of lavender as the calming oil, and so if you're feeling stressed, for example, or just need to feel a little bit calmer, then just putting 1 drop of lavender onto your wrist here. Literally, I just get the essential oil and put it onto my wrist. You could put some carrier oil on first, but lavender is a very mild oil. So most people are absolutely fine with this one, neat on their skin. Just 1 to 2 oils and rub your wrists together. And that's a nice place to put it because it's close to your pulse point. It can go into your blood system very quickly. And you can just smell it and get a really lovely calming effects from just doing that. Now you can just do this once a day. You could do it every 2 hours if you're feeling particularly stressed. It's completely up to you. It's also great to do at night time. So we've had people who have suffered from insomnia that have put lavender on the bottom of their feet. Is probably the best place for it, to be honest, because as I said, that gets it around the whole body. So you can just put 1 drop of lavender onto each foot, on the bottom of each foot, and very good for children as well. About 10 minutes before going to bed, and that helps to get into your system and helps you to feel calm and relaxed and to go to sleep. You can also put it in the diffuser as well. That's a great way of using lavender to sleep. And again, I like to put a bit of residue on my wrists so I can actually smell it as well. Now, some people also like to put 1 drop in some water. So in terms of how to use the oils, I know I've gone through the 3 ways. Literally try one way, and if you're not finding that effective, then try another way. Again, so it's like a little bit of experimentation. So in terms of calming the skin, you can use it for cuts, for burns, for bruises, grazes. It's very antiseptic. Burns, it's incredible. I had a horrific straightener burn early on in the time I was using the oils. I put some lavender on top, neat, directly onto the burn, and I didn't get a blister, which was a miracle because I've had straightener burns before and they've definitely blistered. Also good to calm an insect bite. So just think of lavender for anything calming, and it's just a great one to use on children as well if they fall over and graze themselves. So lemon, I did mention this briefly, a great one to put into a glass. Again, I'm put it into about this kind of size glass, 1 drop of lemon into a glass of water. Please don't use the essential oils with plastics, because something that lemon does very effectively, and other essential oils do as well, is they draw chemicals out. So they help to detoxify your body, but in a plastic bottle, they'll also pull the chemicals out into the water that you're going to drink. They'll also break your plastic bottle. They'll make a hole in it. So it's not very good. So just please use it in glass or stainless steel or something like that. So lemon's great to take in the morning because it goes into your body. It helps to break down any chemicals that are in there and helps to release them by transporting them safely out of your body. It's also great for gentle weight loss as well, because it releases the fat that's kind of surrounding these chemicals in our body. So it's good for just general detoxification. Now, I often have people ask me about how it compares to having a slice of lemon in your glass of water. The essential oil is not acidic. So lemon in your water is acidic. A slice of lemon is acidic, and it will, affect the enamel on your teeth. Whereas the essential oil is alkaline, so it won't affect your enamel on your teeth. But also, like I mentioned, the essential oil contains all the healing properties of the plant. So it actually comes from the rind of the lemon, where its immune system is. So you're getting a very powerful the healing properties of the lemon from the essential oil that you do not get in a slice in the fleshy part of the lemon. So a drop of essential oil is much better for you than a slice of lemon, basically, and easier, much easier. Okay, you can also, it's antiseptic, so you can use it to clean your kitchen surfaces. Now, I'll mention a spray bottle a few times, so I'll just show you what I mean. But I buy these glass spray bottles from Amazon. You can probably get them from a lot of places. I mainly fill it with water, so pretty much up to the top with water. Then I add about 10 drops of lemon, maybe 15, and I just shake it, and I'll use that to clean my kitchen surfaces now, which is a lovely way because you're not using chemicals. And so I'm getting uplifted as I clean rather than drained. It's also good for odours, things like that. So those are the kind of key things that lemon's good for. And as I mentioned before, all citrus oils are very energising and uplifting. I think we all need a bit of energy, so it's great to have a drop in the morning again to just boost your energy. Also, they're just so uplifting, the citrus oils. And actually, if you're interested, there's a wonderful study carried out in America in Vanderbilt Hospital. So if you just Google doTERRA Vanderbilt Hospital, it will come up with a test and everything. And they basically diffused citrus oils in the emergency room in the hospital without the doctors and nurses knowing for a 3-month period, 24 hours a day. And they did a survey before and afterwards, and they found that the stress levels of the doctors in the emergency room had dramatically decreased, and their ability to cope had dramatically increased just by diffusing these essential oils. So, please don't underestimate the power of just smelling some lemon or taking it internally. It will really help to boost you, both your energy and your mood as well. Peppermint. So one of my favourite oils. I think, obviously, because I'm a mum with 3 young children, I often wake up in the morning not feeling like getting out of bed, to be honest. And so I reach for my peppermint and lemon usually, or wild orange is another one. And I'll just put a drop on my hand like I demonstrated at the beginning, rub my hands together and just breathe that peppermint in. It's so invigorating. Now, 1 drop of doTERRA's peppermint is the same as 28 cups of peppermint tea. So it's, it's very, very potent and it's very healing. And so especially if you've got congestion in any way, shape or form, if you've got a slight cold, a really bad cold, if you suffer from sinus problems, then breathing that peppermint in really just clears everything out. It's amazing. It's also really good for headaches as well, or brain fog. So when you're breathing it in, it helps to clear your brain fog and helps you to focus. But for a headache, you can just rub a drop of peppermint here on your temples or on the back of your neck or across your forehead. And it helps to really ease the tension and helps to calm your headache. Now, some people find using it with lavender is really effective for headaches too. As I mentioned, it's very cooling, so great for a fever, and just 1 drop up the spine of a child will really help to bring down their fever. I sometimes, if it's really severe, I'll rub another drop or 2 on the bottom of their feet as well to really help to cool them down. So it's a really good one. There's lots of research on PubMed if you want to go and have a look. There's lots of papers showing how peppermint is also very effective for things like IBS. So it's good for digestive issues as well. But I'll speak about another blend in a second that's more particular for that. So that's peppermint. Now, just before I go on to the next oil, if you combine lemon, lavender and peppermint, so the 3 oils we've just spoken about, you have your antihistamine blend in doTERRA, in the essential oil world. So you can use this for any allergies at all, whether it's hay fever, food allergies, allergies to cats, dogs, anything like that. In fact, my sister was on my last class online and she shared her experience because she came to me with to a class about a year ago. We went to do a class together because she was just starting to do the business with me. And this lovely and big cat greeted us at the door, fluffy cat, and she's like extremely allergic to cats to the point where she can't breathe. Everything goes very tight. She comes out in a rash. Everything just pours out of her. And so her face just had panic on it. I was like, don't worry, Mel, you know, we'll do the lemon, lavender and peppermint. If you have to excuse yourself, you just have to go. So I put 1 drop each of lemon, lavender and peppermint into a glass of water. It was about half a glass of this size. So just 1 drop of each, and she drank it. And normally you wouldn't have to do that again for 2 hours at least, you know, not even. Sometimes it's just once a day, depending on how severe your allergies are. But Melanie was a bit worried, so she did it again after about an hour just to make sure. And nothing happened. She was absolutely fine. She didn't have any allergic reactions at all, and nothing even the next day, when she says it usually lasts a few days. So it is really powerful. And during the hay fever season, you know, if you've got severe hay fever, you would need to take it internally. But if it's just mild, you could put a drop of each on your hands and just breathe it in. Okay, back to science, because I love a bit of science. This is a very simplified picture of a cell in our body. Now, something that really fascinated me when I first started learning about essential oils was their ability to kill viruses. Now, this is very exciting because obviously when you go to the doctors, there's nothing they can give you if you have a virus. Now, they do give you antibiotics, don't they, for things like bacterial infections, which is not ideal anyway because of all the side effects you get, and also we've got resistant bacteria now as well. Now, the reason being that antibiotics cannot kill viruses is because viruses very cleverly enter our cells and they get protected by our cells, if you like, because every single one of our cells is surrounded by this outer membrane that's essentially made up of lipids, so fat. Now, antibiotics are mostly made up of water. So when they try and enter our cell to attack that virus, they get pushed away by the cell membrane. So they cannot cross that membrane. They can kill the bacteria, but they cannot kill viruses at all. Now, essential oils, because they are also lipid-based and they're tiny, tiny molecules, so they can very easily pass that membrane and go in and kill your virus, which I just thought was very exciting, especially as a mum, as we get lots of viruses in our home. But essential oils can also kill bacteria too. So they can kill both. They can kill fungus, they can kill all microbes, which is very exciting. So I've mentioned On Guard a couple of times. So this blend here is an amazing blend. It's probably the one we use most in our house, to be honest. It's the Protective Blend, it's called, by doTERRA. And it's basically your immune boosting blend and antiviral blend. Contains essential oils like cinnamon, wild orange, clove, eucalyptus. So these are oils that help to kill microbes very effectively. Now, one way I use the On Guard is in my diffuser. That's probably one of the biggest ways I use it, especially this time of year. So I just put 3 drops of the On Guard into my diffuser, and then it diffuses around my room and just stops us getting sick. So if there's any viruses lurking, especially if someone comes in coughing into my home, I'll quickly put some essential oil into my diffuser and it will stop the rest of us from getting sick. It's also great to put in the diffuser at night time because that's when our body's healing. So it helps to aid the body to heal itself at night time. Now, this is the one, if I'm feeling a bit run down and I feel like I might be coming down with something, I'll put 1 drop in a shot glass of water. That was what I was demonstrating earlier, about this kind of amount, and just gargle it and then swallow it. And if I catch something early enough, usually 1 time is enough. I'll usually do it 1 more time just to be safe, but it will stop me getting sick. So this to me is priceless and an incredible oil, and one that we use a lot. I also put it on the bottom of my children's feet most days just to boost their immune system throughout this kind of winter season. Just one other thing it does, I'll just briefly mention, because it contains the clove, it's very good for teeth as well. So if you have an abscess, any kind of toothache at all, just put that essential directly onto your finger and rub it into that area. I had a really bad abscess about a year ago, and I put the On Guard onto it every 4 hours. So I treat it like an antibiotic, and within 3 days, the abscess had completely cleared up. I didn't have to use the antibiotics my dentist was trying to push onto me, which was wonderful. Okay, Melaleuca, another great antimicrobial oil, very well known for fungal infections. So it's called tea tree, that's its common name. Great for dandruff, so you can just add 1 or 2 drops to your shampoo. Good for acne, you can add it to a moisturizer or just put it directly onto your spot. Again, for most people, it's a very mild oil, so you can use it neat. Good for athlete's foot, just add it to some carrier oil and massage it into your feet. Toenail fungus, just for healthy hair really, you should probably use tea tree kind of at least once a week just to help strip the chemicals from your hair. So it's a really good one. But what it works very well with is oregano. Now, oregano is nature's strongest natural antibiotic. It's extremely powerful. And again, on PubMed, there are so many papers showing how oregano is much better, much more effective than antibiotics in many instances. And its effects against multi-resistant bacteria is really well documented. And so it's really exciting. And oregano is what we kind of call the big guns in doTERRA. So if you have a viral infection now, so it's got through the On Guard, and you're sick, or you're feeling like you're really coming down with something, I will take some oregano. Now, it's what we call a hot oil. So it's one you want to be careful of and not to put on neat on your skin at all. But it's good to put on the bottom of feet. Very effective, putting on the bottom of feet, just 1 drop again, and on children as well. But I take it internally, and to be honest, that's the most effective way I found using the oregano. You just need 1 drop, and again, in like a shot glass of water like this, and just down it. It's a very powerful oil. You know you're taking it, you feel alive, but you definitely feel it killing whatever you've got, whether it's bacterial or viral infection, it will attack it. Now, I severely got tonsillitis quite a few times, and then I got it the last time when I kind of just started using the oils, and I used oregano pretty much every 4 hours. Occasionally I'd use the On Guard as well, but it was mainly the oregano, and I was getting it, and so the first day it was really coming on quite strongly, and it kind of stopped it in its tracks, and then by the day 3 it had completely gone, so it never completely came out. And I haven't had tonsillitis since, and I was quite prone to tonsillitis. So that was oregano, and it's just one of my favourite oils because of what it does. It's also good for things like candida, so any gut issues, parasites. Now, if you were to be taking it for a long period of time in those situations, you might want to consider doing it in a capsule, so you can get just empty capsules, vegetal capsules from doTERRA, and just put 1 to 2 drops of oregano in there. So it's actually getting into your gut as well, which is where you want it for those things. But also, it's one oil that after taking it for 10 days, you'll want to take a 5-day break and then take it for 10 days again. So you could alternate it with Melaleuca quite nicely. Also good for warts, verrucas, skin tags. Again, if it's not on your foot, then you want to use it with a carrier oil. So you can put some carrier oil around the wart or verruca, and then put the oregano directly on top. I'm just going to see these questions if I can get to them. I've just seen there's 2 questions up there. What is Gran? I don't know. Gram? Was it Gram? Gran. I didn't see Gran. I'll have a look and say. Thank you, Jo. Yes. Yeah. So for things like infections, say if you had like thrush or like thrush in children, for example, then it would be a good one to put on the bottom of the feet, definitely. And also taking lemon internally for something like that would be very effective too. So good for all these kind of things. Again, I'm giving you an overview. If you do decide to purchase some oils, by the way, I'll also give you a one-on-one wellness consultation in January. So you can ask, more personal questions then as well, and get a bit more detail. But also it's all in the resources as well, so you'll find so much information there. So going to move on to our second blend. We've already spoken about On Guard, haven't we? So this is Deep Blue. We did mention it briefly earlier. It comes in an oil in the Home Essentials kit like this, but people also like to kind of add on a Deep Blue rub. Sometimes we'll purchase this later because it's a very popular blend, as you can imagine, because it addresses pain. So this is how I got my husband to be interested in the oils, first of all, because I helped his pain. He had severe pain in his ankle. He twisted his ankle quite severely after playing football, and we just put a few drops, 2 drops of the Deep Blue onto the area, with a bit of carrier oil as well, because again, it's quite a strong oil. And he did this, I think, about 3 or 4 times, and then that really helped take his pain away. So the Deep Blue contains anti-inflammatory oils, so including helichrysum, which is a very expensive oil, but wonderful for inflammation and skin as well. But it helps. It's got blue tansy, blue chamomile, wintergreen, peppermint. So these oils all help to bring down inflammation. So it's good applied topically mainly. You wouldn't really diffuse this one. And this is the one essential oil that comes in the kit that you cannot take internally. So please, please do not take this internally. It comes with a screw top safety cap lid, so children can't just undo it. And you can't take it internally. You probably could, but they have to be very safe, of course, in doTERRA. And it's because wintergreen is known to thin your blood. So also if you're on things like warfarin or lots of aspirin, then you need to be careful at how much of this you put on topically. So you could do it once a day, but you wouldn't certainly be doing it every 2 hours. Okay, so this is the one oil that has contraindications with medications. All the other oils are fine to use alongside medications as well. So just one to kind of be aware of. So anti-inflammatory, so really arthritis, carpal tunnel, any kind of the deeper headaches, migraines, this is the one that's great for that. Growing pains, I use it on I started using it on my 8-year-old when she was 6, and now my 4-year-old's asking for it, and it really, really helps growing pains. And my daughters wake up in pain. It's so painful for them. And I'll just rub a couple of drops in with some carrier oil onto their legs, is where they get their growing pains. And literally within minutes, they've gone back to sleep. It's all been soothed for them. I woke up one night with severe stomach pain. It was kind of digestive pain. I couldn't sleep. It was horrible cramping feeling. And I just put 2 drops on top of some carrier oil onto my stomach. And within 5, maximum 10 minutes, I think it was more 5, I was pain-free. It's really effective for pain. So that's why, like I said, it comes in a tube as well with an aloe vera natural gel, because then you can obviously administer over larger areas. Because this oil is quite an expensive oil. They all vary in price because they're all, sourced completely from the raw material. And because it contains some expensive oils, it's a bit more expensive. So that's why if you're using it over larger areas, this is a bit more economical. But great for back pain. I use the cream for my back pain. I get occasionally, and before and after exercise and joint pain, things like that. So pain. Breathe. This is what I call the miracle oil, because of the experience that my friend had, or she's become a friend now. So it's a respiratory blend that doTERRA do. So they're trying to make this, I hope you're getting the picture, they're trying to make these oils as easy to use as they possibly can. And when you do start using them, you'll soon see how, you fall into it. But the blends are kind of called what they do. But doTERRA put together the oils for us that complement each other to help, do things and make them more effective when they're put together. So this is good for anything like sinus conditions. This is the snoring one. It's very good for snoring. Really good for congestion or chesty coughs, things like that. But But where the miracle was for this for me, I mean, there's been some miracles with croup as well, but I'm going to share the one about asthma. So this lady on the Isle of Wight, she has a little boy called Kit, who was, I think, 2 at the time, but had severe asthma since 1 and probably even a bit younger. But he'd been on steroids, maximum steroids for his age, and he was still having asthma attacks weekly, where they were having to rush into hospital, life-threatening attacks, and get more medication administered. So she was exploring, she was Googling natural things for asthma. She came across doTERRA, came to a class that we did, purchased some oils, and she used Breathe and frankincense with some carrier oil on his chest and back, morning and evening. Now, after a week, just 1 week of doing that, the attacks had completely stopped. So there were no more attacks. Now, he was on his steroids, never tell him to come off his steroids. But the attacks had stopped, which was already quite life-changing. And then after about 3 months, she went for a check with her doctor, and he looked at his lungs and said that everything was clearing up. The lungs looked a lot cleaner. And so he told her to carry on using the Breathe, because she told him what she was doing. And then it was in June, so after about 6-7 months, I think, after she first started using those 2 oils, that she phoned me in tears, telling me that her son could now stop taking the steroids. So the doctors had said that his lungs were healed up enough that she could just carry on using the Breathe and frankincense, and he didn't need steroids anymore. Now, that was just quite dramatic and incredible. And it just made me so thankful and grateful for these wonderful oils, because they do help treat symptoms. But what they also do is they go into the body and they help to deal with the core, the root of the problem, and work with your body to heal itself. And that's what's really incredible. Excuse me. So topically is really good for this one, or aromatic. You wouldn't really take this one internally. But if you had a chest infection, just put 2 drops on your chest with some carrier oil. So you're getting the picture. You just literally put the oils where you need them. Sinus here, just be careful of your eyes because it contains peppermint. So a bit of carrier oil or breathing it in. It's really effective that way. So in terms of asthma, we've had quite a few people now who have used asthma and older children that have actually managed to come off their inhalers. So they use it alongside their inhalers, and then they can stop using their inhalers. But then some have even stopped using the Breathe because it's actually gone in and cured, basically helped the body to cure itself. Okay, a blend called Zengest. This is one for digestive support. So when I mentioned IBS, this is the one I'd recommend more for that. So anything digestive issues, anything at all, from acid reflux, heartburn, just simple indigestion, bloating, overeating, food allergies, what else? Sickness bugs, food poisoning, motion sickness, constipation, diarrhea. The oils know what to do and they bring the body back into balance, and it's very effective. So you can take this either topically or internally, and again, it's just finding out what works best for you. On children, it's always topically, so just rubbing into the tummy with some carrier oil or on the bottom of the feet. But if you can get it closer to the area, it's actually more effective with this one. For me, it's internally. I need to take it. So a really effective blend that helps with so many things. Okay, so the last oil I'm going to talk about tonight. Well, the main last oil. So frankincense is the last oil that comes in this kit. So it's the 10th oil. I saved this one to last because it is the king of oils. It is absolutely incredible. It's one of the most expensive oils doTERRA do. So just to give you an example, lemon essential oil is about £8 wholesale, £9.60 retail. And I'll explain the difference at the end of the class when I talk about how you can purchase the oils if you'd like to. Other oils are about £30. Frankincense is this end, which is £76 retail, £56 wholesale. But it is worth every penny. It's sourced from Somalia and Oman, where I said earlier, and you need tons and tons of resin to just get a tiny bottle of frankincense. You really need a lot of raw material for this one. So the healing properties are very unique. So frankincense has a very wide chemistry, so it can pretty much help with most things. But what's very unique to frankincense is that it's one of the few things that can actually physically pass your blood-brain barrier. So it can actually physically go into your brain and have an effect on brain functioning. So it helps your cells in the brain to heal. So it can help with minor things such as brain fog, mild anxiety, mild depression, to more severe things such as Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, epilepsy, any kind of seizures, more severe anxiety, more severe depression. There are so many healing properties in frankincense. Now, the other thing that frankincense helps with is for skin as well. It's very good for beautifying the skin. It's great to help with scars, whether they're fresh scars or whether they've been there for a long time. And it's very effective at boosting the immune system. Basically, it helps to regenerate cells and repair cells. So it goes into every single cell and helps to repair or reverse what hasn't been happening correctly. So it works with the body to heal the body. Also very good to help calm stress and tension, as it says up here as well. Now, the other thing I'm going to mention about frankincense, as I said earlier, I'm not going to make any claims at all with this, but frankincense is very well known now for helping to kill cancer. So there's a lot of research on this. So if this does interest you, then please go and do your own research. But there's a lot of research showing now with all types of cancer, including brain tumours, because it can actually get into the brain. It kills it by a process called apoptosis, which is cell suicide. So it basically targets the cancer cells and gets them to commit suicide. It's also good to support alongside chemo if people choose to go down the chemo route. So just a wonderful, wonderful oil. It's also what's called an enhancer. So when put alongside other oils, like my friend who used Breathe with her son, it enhances the effects of them up to 10 times. So it really is great for more severe things. Now, I used this, for example, in that way when Sienna, my middle child, she woke up with a severe rash. It was a really blotchy, huge rash. I've never seen anything like it. It was fiery. She was screaming in agony. I was quite new to the oils again, and I read that lavender and frankincense could really help with that. So I just made up a bottle, spray bottle, mainly with carrier oil in, so coconut oil, and I think 10 drops of lavender, probably 5 drops of frankincense, something like that. And I sprayed her body down, and within 10 minutes, you could see the fire come out of the rash. Like it really just, like the rash shrank, but also the redness really came out, and she was able to go to sleep. And I think it was that moment really for me as a mum, when it was a late night, I couldn't call the doctors, I didn't know what to do, that I really valued what I had in my home, that I had something so precious and medicine that really was so effective, but also safe, that I could kind of try out on my children. And it was just incredible for me. Okay. So that's kind of the end of the class in terms of the educational part. I'm just going to quickly tell you now how you can purchase some oils if you would like to purchase some essential oils, because in December especially, it's the one time of year where they do some very good offers as well. So the first kind of the smallest kit, well, let me start from the beginning. So there's 2 ways you can purchase the oils. There's retail and there's wholesale. So retail, you can just purchase at full cost, but what doTERRA enable everyone to have if they'd like to is a wholesale account, where you purchase your account for £24, and it means you then get everything at 25% off. So that lasts a year, and if you want to renew it, then it's £14, and you get a free peppermint, which is worth £18 at the end of that year. So that's a really good way of getting the oils a lot cheaper, especially things like frankincense, which are quite expensive. Now, what they also do for when you first start is they offer you the opportunity to get a starter kit, and the kits save you a lot of money and are just quite a good place to start. As you saw, it's a good place to kind of get used to the oils. So the first kit is the Family Essentials kit. So it's the 10 core oils that I spoke about today in the class, and they're all 5 ml bottles. So they come in 5 ml bottles. There's about 80 drops in a 5 ml bottle. And like I said, you only need 1 to 2 drops at a time. This kit also comes with a Smart and Sassy, which is a 15 ml bottle. I didn't mention that, so briefly, this is the metabolic blend. It helps to speed up your metabolism in a natural way. It also helps to energize you as well. It's got citrus oils and peppermint in, so it's good for that. So this kit is £115.20, and it includes your membership. So you get these 10 oils, including frankincense, and it includes your membership. So that's a good purchase. Now, the kit that's an amazing offer this month is the Home Essentials kit. So this kit is the same as the Family Essentials kit, just much bigger, so better value for money. So instead of getting 5 ml bottles, you're actually getting 15 ml bottles. So there's your 5 ml compared to your 15. So the 15 contain about 240 drops of essential oil in them. So again, it will last a long time. And by the way, these oils, they don't have an expiry date, apart from the citrus oils, which have a 5-year expiry date. But as long as you keep them in a relatively, not in the direct sunlight, so just it doesn't have to be a dark, dark place, but not in direct sunlight and not in extreme heat, so not on the radiator, they will last forever. So they'll outlive you. So they're very cost effective in that way. So you get 15 ml bottles of the 10 core oils that we spoke about today for just twice the price. And you get a diffuser thrown in as well for free. But also for the month of December, this is where the exciting part is, you get a free frankincense. You get another frankincense, which is worth 76 retail, 56 wholesale. So you're getting that completely free. But you also get another thing free as well. So with this kit, as it says at the bottom, you get £100 worth of oils free, including the frankincense. So you get the frankincense, but you can also then choose between a deep blue rub or a myrrh. Okay, so these come free as well. Now, just to tell you about myrrh, myrrh is obviously a Christmassy oil. It's very good at helping with emotional balance, which I think is great at Christmas time. But also very good for upper respiratory support as well. So it's good for breaking down mucus, so particularly if you have like a mucousy cough. So they come free with the Home Essentials kit and also with this kit here. So the Family Wellness kit is like the Family Essentials kit at the beginning, which has your 5 ml bottles. But if you wanted to get the Lifelong Vitality Pack, this is a good one to get, because it combines the Lifelong Vitality Pack and the Family Essentials kit together. And you also get some other On Guard products. Because On Guard is such a popular blend, they do it as a cleaning concentrate, so you can use it to clean with. You've got the toothpaste there, a natural toothpaste, a hand soap as well, so a chemical-free hand soap that comes with this one. And also at the front, you can see some On Guard Plus soft gels, which are immune boosting soft gels. I call it the flu bomb. So just another level, really, that contains oregano and On Guard in the same capsule. So with these two last kits, basically the Home Essentials and the Family Wellness kit, you get your free frankincense, and you get to choose either a free deep blue rub and a free myrrh. So you're getting £100 worth of free oils, as well as getting your membership free and that kind of stuff. Now, the last kit that some people like to go for, I'm just going to explain briefly, is the Natural Solutions kit. So this is the last step up, really. There are bigger kits, but this is the last one I'm going to talk about. So it contains your Home Essentials kit, so the bigger oils that you had before, and it contains some other oils as well. I'll send this in an email, but it's a lot bigger. You've got the Lifelong Vitality, you've got some skincare, cleaning products, shampoo and conditioner, and with that kit you get the free frankincense, of course, but you also get to choose whatever you want, and there'll be a price list that I'll send in the follow-up email, up to £180 worth. So you'll get £250 worth of free oils with that kit. So they're the December offers that don't normally happen throughout the rest of the year. which is why I'm trying to do as many classes as I can this year to give people these benefits. So just to recap, if you do decide you'd like to get some oils, then you will get a wellness consultation as well. You'll get a recorded one, first of all, that will be sent to you to cover the Christmas period, so you know how to kind of get started. And then in January, you'll have a one-on-one wellness consultation online, which lasts about an hour, where we'll kind of take you through your oils that you've purchased, make sure you know how to use them, and to help you show your account as well. We also have a Facebook group that you can, we'll add you to as well, where you can ask any questions. So there's a lot of support when using these essential oils. So you're not left on your own. And like I said, they really have changed my life. They really have. I haven't had to use medications since I've been using the essential oils, and they're very safe, as I said, and they're very effective. They actually work, and you don't have to use drugs, which is wonderful. So I'm just going to stop the recording now and ask if there's any questions, and just go through the chat and make sure I haven't missed anything out.